What happened when an entire nation refused to listen to God? The rivers turned to blood. Fire fell from the sky, and darkness covered the land. But somehow, one place was protected. What if darkness covered an entire nation? Except for one place.
Pharaoh refused to listen. And now in Egypt, God was revealing his power.
Moses obeyed God, and the Nile River turned to blood. The people of Egypt watched in horror as their great river became undrinkable. But Pharaoh still refused to listen. But God protected his people. In Goshen, the water remained pure. And this was only the beginning. Then frogs flooded the land of Egypt. They were everywhere. Even Pharaoh's palace was not spared. Worms filled the skies, and Egypt could find no escape. But in Goshen, there was peace. But Pharaoh's heart only grew harder. And Egypt began to realize that this was far more than a storm. Then a deadly sickness spread across the land. The animals Egypt depended on began to die. But in Goshen, the herds remained healthy, and painful sores spread across the people of Egypt. But Pharaoh still would not surrender. And still, the warnings were ignored. Then Moses warned Egypt that a storm unlike any before it was coming. But Pharaoh refused to listen. Fire and hail crashed down from the sky, and Egypt was thrown into chaos. The fields were destroyed, and the land began to burn. But in Goshen, the storm never came. For the first time, Pharaoh began to fear. But the warnings were not over. Then something happened that Egypt had never seen before. Darkness so dark it couldn't be fought. No one could travel. No one could work. Even Pharaoh sat alone, surrounded by darkness. But in Goshen, with the Israelites, there was light. Between his people and Egypt. And still, Pharaoh refused to let the people go. But the final warning was still to come. After the darkness, Moses stood before Pharaoh one final time.
Leave my sight!
You are right. I will not see your face again.
And Moses left the palace. But Egypt's greatest test was still ahead.
Egypt had seen the Nile turn to blood. Frogs filled the land. Swarms of insects covered the sky. Animals died. Fire and hail fell from above. And darkness covered Egypt for 3 long days. But even after all these warnings, Pharaoh still refused to listen, and the worst plague was yet to come. Join me next time as we witness the final plague and the night that changed history forever.